Okay, what's up people? I'm going to show you in this tutorial how to change your block ID, okay? And let's say you have to be sudo for this, okay? This should work on any operating system that has Tune 2FS, okay? And that's that. So let's go. This is CD desktop. And this is your block ID. By entering in BLKid, okay, you can see these are, or this is your block ID. Okay, these are the IDs of your device. So if you have more than one hard drive, okay, each one of these represents hard drive. It's DA1 through 9. Okay, the UUID, okay, is specific to that hard drive. Okay, so this UUID is ABO DB772 blah blah blah. Okay, and the next hard drive ID is that right there. Okay, now I clone a lot of operating systems. Okay, well, I clone a lot of my own operating systems, and for example, right here, this is a clone. This was the original hard drive, okay, which was on SDA7, okay, and I cloned that over to SDA8, okay, and when I have other videos on cloning, okay, and normally this is really not too much of a problem, but I ran into an issue with this, and I'll tell you about that in a second. But it clones everything byte for byte, okay, and it cloned over the block ID, okay. So really, in other versions of grub, this wasn't a problem, but in grub 2, which I'm using now, which I want to get rid of kind of as soon as possible, what happens is, not only does grub take parameters like in older versions of grub, say 97, okay, which is extremely simple. It took parameters like boot, dev SDA, whatever, let's say 7, okay, and then on the next line it would take something like your kernel, and then you have to enter in your kernel SDA 7 maybe, or quiet or something like that, okay, and that's all it would take to boot that operating system, okay. Well, in newer versions of grub, I don't know if legacy does or not, but in newer versions of grub it also takes the block ID to boot it, okay, which can be a little problem here, because when you're trying to boot your hard drive, it's actually going to pick up the same block ID, okay, if it is a clone, and if you do have a duplicate block ID, it's going to pick up that block ID, and it could interfere with your operating system, right? So, to get around that, all we have to do is change it, okay? So, let's change that now. First thing you want to do is, you have Tune 2FS, okay? Mostly every Linux operating system has it, okay? And you need something called a UUID generator, okay? I don't know if every Linux operating system has that, but I even assume that you can even type in a block ID. Just make one up. You know what I mean? You can go like that. But I'm not sure about that. But I'm using Mint 13, I think it is. I'm using Mint 13 right now. Let's see. I'm pretty sure it's 13. But that's what you can do. Now I did this previously, and it's right here. No, it's not right here. It's right here. I already did this, but I wanted to do it to how to do it. What I had was, these are the this is my F disk before I actually changed the block IDs, okay, and this is the one I actually changed. SDA9 is the one that I changed, okay, because I was having issues. And you can see here that I can't get any highlighting on this because it's a picture, but you can see these last three IDs are all the same. Okay, and what was happening was when I did some modifications to SDA 9, okay, they were getting mimicked throughout SDA 8 and 7 also, and that's something I really didn't want. Okay, so how did I change that or fix that? I just changed the block ID. Okay, so let's exit that, and we'll say, here we go. Clear. Make sure you're away from everybody. Okay, and let me make a directory. We'll call it let's call it test. Okay. And let's say blkid. Okay. And here we go. See, that's changed. I'm going to change it to something else now. Okay. I'm not going to change these dittos because I'm not going to change them. I'm just going to change this last one here. Okay, we'll change it to another ID. Let's say first it says that we have to create a UUID. Let's say UUID gen. Okay, and what that's going to do is that randomly generates a UUID. Okay, now if you don't have a UUID gen, I really don't know why you cannot just type it in. Okay, but I would, for example, I would make sure that they are correctly delimited. Like here, I think we have let's say 3, 6, 8. We have 8 in the in the first section before the dash. Okay, and we have 4 before that, 4, 4, and maybe this will be 8. Let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9, 12. So maybe it's 8, 4, 4, 12. 8, 3 4s and 12. Maybe it's like say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I don't know why you can't just do it like that. Okay, but I don't know. Maybe you can, but you should have your UID gen. A lot of them do, unless you're running like Linux from scratch or something like that, which I'm using on my other side, so I might not have it in there. But anyway, nonetheless, I don't see why you can't just type it in like that. If anybody succeeds this way, leave a comment or something about that, but I'm not going to do it this way. And number 2, recognize where you are here. Okay, notice that none of these values ever go above, let's say, F. Okay, none of these ever go above F. So I really wouldn't recommend typing in something like Jax, whatever, blah blah blah, blah blah, whatever, Z drive. I really wouldn't recommend doing anything like that. Okay, because none of these go above F. And F in ASCII is 15. Okay, so you don't want to go to G because G in ASCII doesn't exist like that. You guys know what I mean? You know what I mean. For example, ASCII is O 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There is no 10. Okay, and then it rolls over to A, B, C, D, E, and F. Okay. And then your next one will be, starts back at 0. But no number ever goes above F. If you think of F as equal to 15, okay, and 0 equals 0, okay, or A would equal 10. You know what I mean? Okay. So no number ever goes above 15, so I would keep that in mind when entering in a block ID and not pick anything above F. Okay? Alright, so that's out of the way. Let's change the block ID. Right now, these are my block IDs. These are dittos. I'm going to leave them like that for right now. I'm just going to change this very bottom. Okay? Make sure everything's backed up. Okay? Okay. And let's say UUIDJ. That's going to be the ID. Now, if I keep hitting that, notice it creates a totally different random ID all the time. If you notice also too, look at what I'm saying. None of these ever go above F. Okay, F being 15 in ASCII. None of these ever roll over above F. So remember that. Okay. Okay. So I can do something like UUIDJ. I can key it off, and I'm going to put it into a file. Let's call it new name. Okay. If I cat out the file new name, okay, you can see that my generated UUID is right here. Okay, and we're going to need that. So let's say now we are sudo. Let's say tune2 fs tune2 fs. We're going to say dev the drive that we wanted to change, which mine was SDA none. Okay. Let's change the UUID of that drive as it is now. Let's change it to this one up here. Okay. This is totally against my what do you call it? My usual. I do have a mouse in this one, but I'm just going to copy and paste this UUID in the file right here. Okay. So you can do that in terminal without any copy and paste pull downs. Just hit Control Shift C to copy it, Control Shift V to paste it. Okay. Should have got some type of little output on that. Okay. And now let's go see if it's changed. So let's go and we'll now say block ID. Okay. There we go. And you can see here that it's changed. Okay. Now after that's all done, what you want to do is, whenever you do anything to, say, a partition table, or if you add a new operating system, if you clone something over, whatever like that, we know it's always a good idea when you're using grub2 to just say grub or sudo update grub. Okay? This takes a couple seconds, but it goes through all the kernels that are on your hard drive that are visible. Okay. Or does it go through all of the boot? I don't know what it. I don't know if it goes through all the boot directories that are on the devices. I don't know if it goes through all the boot directories that are on the devices, or if it just scans the whole device or their whole partition for a kernel. I imagine it wouldn't really scan a whole partition for a kernel, because that would just take forever. So I think it just goes to the boot directory and scans that. I'm not sure, but that goes through, finds your kernels, okay, and puts them into a new grub list, okay, a grub menu, builds a new grub menu, okay. Now I have a few kernels that I've actually hidden, and I placed them in another directory, subdirectory, way away from boot. I think it was on the desktop of some hard drive. I hid the kernels there, so it must not scan the whole hard drive for all kernels. Okay, it must only scan maybe, say, the first boot directory for kernels. So I don't know how that goes, but I wasn't taking any precautions. I hid my I hid them anyway. So, all I did was I made a directory. And I just hid it. Put a dot in front of it, and it'll hide all the stuff in that directory. Okay, so should be good to go. Hope you guys like this tutorial, and that's how you change your block ID. So have a great day.